Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products.
Good morning, everyone.
This is one of our listeners.
Good morning, good morning.
My Pillow mattress topper.
Welcome. We'll be on the air in just a couple minutes live. Lots going on. I did all my show prep this morning, and there were so many stories about this Dave Chappelle special. I watched it this morning. And because I was like, well, I got to talk about this because there were so many articles about it. But I said I can't talk about it unless I've seen it. So I watched the Dave Chappelle special this morning. So I'm going to talk about that at the beginning because this is a really amazing thing. And Dave, what I'll talk about when I get on the air in a minute or two here is Dave Chappelle really, truly he's out there like a MAGA guy right now. As crazy as that sounds, and maybe even crazy to Dave Chappelle, but he's talking like a Trump guy, and he's very smart, incredibly funny. I've always thought Dave Chappelle, that Chappelle show was hilarious. And what he is doing is really standing up like Trump. He's really amazing from this woke cancel culture that's been holding us all so hostage. And so it's amazing. So got to talk about that here.
Use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Save 30% off your My Pillow mattress topper and receive 2 free My Pillows. But you got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big My Pillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We'll go live on the air here in just less than a minute. And I'm on a whole bunch of radio stations here in Florida. We take live calls on the air from our radio listeners. And you guys watching on YouTube, you can call too. Steve's doing great. He got a negative test result yesterday, which is good news. It's always best, get tested so you're not wondering all the time, right?
That's 1-888-GO-CANE 1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
Yes. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It's 4 minutes after the hour, Tuesday, October 26th, 2021, and man, do we have a lot to talk about. You know, I went through the news today. I'm doing all my show prep this morning, and like every third or fourth story was about Dave Chappelle refusing, in his words, he'll meet with the LGBT trans community over his special, but he says he will not be taking a knee to them. And so all these stories are about Dave Chappelle. And everyone knows Dave Chappelle is very, very funny. And I remember when the Chappelle show was on television, that was the funniest thing I had seen on television since In Living Color in its original run. I mean, it was amazing. And Dave Chappelle's show, there's 3 big comedy shows, I think, in the history of television. The Chappelle Show, In Living Color, and then, of course, the original cast of Saturday Night Live. They're very groundbreaking things. And Dave Chappelle, a lot of people don't. So what I did is, so I'm seeing all these stories in the news about Dave Chappelle and this controversy. I've been hearing it, but I'm like, I thought it was just kind of hype and publicity, and then it's getting serious, and it's not just a publicity stunt at all. And so I saw all these stories. It's in every outlet, liberal outlet, conservative outlet. And I'm reading these stories, and I said, well, I got to talk about this, but how can I talk about something I haven't seen? So I watched Dave Chappelle's Netflix special this morning, The Closer. And it was very difficult to watch I started watching it at 3:45 in the morning. Yeah, 3:45 in the morning. And it was very difficult. It's only about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 12 minutes, with the credits in the open. But it was very difficult to watch because everyone, including the dog and the cat in the house, are sound asleep. So so I was trying not to laugh out loud because it was classic Dave Chappelle. It is as funny gets. And I watched it, and I thought it was very, very funny. I heard him make some comments about LGBTs and trans people. I heard him say some other things. And I thought, well, wait a minute. I must have missed what has people so upset. Why are people so upset? So after I watched the Dave Chappelle special, I went online and I started looking, well, where's the controversy? And it's, what he said is just so ridiculously mild, what they're taking issue with. It's absolutely amazing. And what a lot of people, I don't think, have picked up on with this Dave Chappelle controversy, usually when there's something with a celebrity, I do not pay much attention to it so far as the show, right? So far as the radio show or my podcast, because we don't talk about celebrity gossip here. But, from time to time, there were things that happen with celebrities we do talk about, like this Alec Baldwin incident. But an issue like Dave Chappelle, my immediate reaction is PR stunt. And I thought that until this morning when I saw the special. And I think, my MAGA brothers and sisters out there, Dave Chappelle is to comedy what Donald Trump is to politics. He's like a MAGA guy. And this country has been, and not just conservatives, the country as a whole has been held hostage for the last, year or two by this woke cancel culture. It began with Harvey Weinstein and has gone into every other thing you can imagine. And there's been a lot of people waiting for someone to rise up and stand up against the cancel culture. I heard Chris Rock talk about, a year or two ago, seems longer than that, but he was saying he doesn't do comedy any longer on the college circuit, which is a big thing for stand-ups, because they have no sense of humor. It started with the millennials. They don't want to hear anything that's offensive. And one thing, I'm not a stand-up comic, although that's like been my fantasy, is to be a stand-up comic, a successful one. That was actually funny. I don't want to go up and bomb. But one thing I do know about humor, for a joke to be funny, there has to be some truth to it. It's not funny if there's no truth to it. And Dave Chappelle, everything he says in this special is true. And nothing, I'll tell you, I think he broke a record, Dave Chappelle, in this particular special. I don't have time to go back and watch and do a counter on this. But it seems to me Dave Chappelle has broken a comedy world record. He used the N-word more times than I have heard anyone use it in a 1 hour and 12-minute program. And no one seems bothered by that. This new era of wokeness is really anti-wokeness. The people that are woke are Dave Chappelle, Donald Trump, the MAGA movement. We're the ones that are woke. Bill Maher, who's a liberal, remember, he donated $1 million of his own money to Barack Obama's re-election campaign. Remember that? Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? He did have his own money. So he's a hardcore liberal, and even he's been standing up to this woke cancel culture that's really been targeting comedy. And the way this works, and this woke cancel culture covers many different areas, not just gay and trans and all of this stuff. It covers everything except white people. Okay. Well, white heterosexual people. And what they believe is that any resistance they get in life is because of whatever their status is. If they don't get their way about something, it's because they're trans or black or gay or this or that or non-binary or something. And that's a really sick way. That's a really sick way of thinking. And it started with the millennials, and millennials are older than you think. Mayor Pete's a millennial. AOC is a millennial. So millennials are like in their mid-30s. And then the generation after them are called Gen Z, whatever that means. And they actually believe that anything that happens to them is discrimination. And there's this other movement called anti-racism. And I kept hearing about anti-racism. So I got the audio book from Abraham X. It's called How to Be an Anti-Racist. And the reason I got it is I saw the author on MSNBC a lot, and he was talking about anti-racism, and I never could quite understand what it was, so I got his book. And this guy's like a college professor. It was the most juvenile, poorly written book. It was just, every chapter said the same thing. Each chapter was a rehash of the chapter before. I got the audio book, and I listened to it on a 6-hour car drive, 3 hours to Orlando, 3 hours back, and it was awful. It was awful. And what anti-racism is, and this applies to everything, the woke, LGBT, trans, all this wokeness stuff that's going on, it applies to all of it. But what anti-racism means is that if you, and they're very clear about this, there's no beating around the bush, if you disagree with them on one particular facet of their agenda, you are a racist. To be an anti-racist, you must agree with them 100% on no matter what it is they say or do. Otherwise, you're a racist. And you're even a racist if you just go about your life and you're not involved in politics or trans issues or gay issues or race issues. You are a racist because you're not active as an anti-racist. That makes you a racist. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you're too busy working and raising your family. You're not involved in social issues. That means you are a racist because you're not doing anything about it. And it's a really sick way to be. For example, this is what they mean. If I go to the store and I am in line longer than the line next to me, it's because I'm trans. It's transphobic. That's how bad it's gotten. If someone cuts me off in traffic, it's because they're anti-gay or they're a racist. That's why all these things are happening. And, there's an old, life's tough. It's easier for some than others. And other people are born with silver, gold, and platinum spoons in their mouth, but life is difficult for all. And the woke culture believes that everything is racist, everything is homophobic, everything is transphobic, everything is anti-woman. And thankfully, Dave Chappelle, who everyone agrees is brilliant and funny, everyone, until now when he's got these wokesters after him, and also he's a minority. So because of that, it gives him the fact that he is truly funny, and that cannot be argued, and he's black, it gives him a way in that Bill Maher wouldn't get because he's white. Bill Maher's very, very funny. Dave Chappelle's funnier. And he can touch on a lot of things. So Dave Chappelle has led his own little MAGA movement on here in pop culture. And I'm telling you, what's going on with Dave Chappelle, he will never concede, never give up, never surrender. Do you know what that is? And he said, word for word, I will not take a knee. I will meet with them, but I will not be taking a knee. See, what they expect is for him to meet with the trans people at Netflix or wherever he's going to meet with, and they're going to come out, he's going to concede that his comedy is offensive. He will not do that. He's said it. And Dave Chappelle in this special on Netflix is the beginning, is the moment when wokeness ends. And that's a good thing. And I'll tell you, maybe some of you don't follow such things. Go and watch, after I get off the air at 9 a.m., don't do it now, but go and watch the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix. My ribs were hurting this morning. I was laughing so hard. That's how funny it is. I'm gonna take a break, and after the break, I'm gonna read an article or two about it, and then after that, I'll get into some other issues, because there's a lot of political issues going on with Biden and Ron DeSantis and President Trump that we're going to get into. But this thing with Dave Chappelle is a very important moment in our culture, because I was talking the other day on my podcast, which you guys should listen to, the Brian Craig Show podcast, named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America. Number 1, Mark Levin's podcast, which is a rebroadcast of his radio show. Number 2 was The Blaze, Glenn Beck, and number 3 was me. You really should. I'm on most podcast platforms, and I also upload my podcast weekday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. You really should check it out. But I was talking on my podcast last week with my wife about how I with all this wokeness going on, I feel like I don't belong in this world. I feel like I'm a man from another time. I feel like Sylvester Stallone in Demolition Man, when he got thawed out. And remember, he would use profanity and he'd get a ticket for using profanity. I mean, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm a man from another time, like Buck Rogers in the 25th century or Austin Powers. That this woke culture, things have changed so much. And I see this at Starbucks when they actually have under their name tags printed on their, and it's embroidered on their Starbucks aprons, their preferred pronouns. What does that even mean? At least they're learning the parts of speech and everything, I guess, but their preferred pronouns, it's like wackadoodle out there. And we've been waiting for someone to rise up against the woke culture. Donald Trump has done it in the political world, and now Dave Chappelle has done it with the other part of the country that doesn't follow politics. That's right. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. I got an email from a listener and his wife, Robbie and Pam. Brian, I just want to take a moment to say I just recently became a new listener in the last 6 months and enjoy the show. Well, thank you very much. You obviously have a very, 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 very sophisticated and very good taste in talk radio to say that. He goes on here, I recently heard you praise MyPillow's mattress topper and decided to take your advice and purchase one. Can I just say the first night we slept on it, my wife awoke energized and told me, quote, she dreamed she was swimming with baby manatees, unquote. So if that in itself is not a testimony to the quality of sleep it provides, I don't know what is. Thank you for your recommendation, Robbie and Pam. Well, I tell you that MyPillow mattress topper will change your life. You will wake up like I do every morning, refreshed, feel as if you're sleeping on a cloud. It's absolutely amazing. And right now, you go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Now, this is the 3-inch mattress topper, which is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. The 3-inch mattress topper, 30% off, oh yeah, and 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You too will be dreaming of you'll be dreaming while you're sleeping of swimming with manatees like Robbie's wife Pam. And I'll tell you, it makes a great Christmas gift. We are in Christmas shopping season right now. This makes a great gift for everyone on your gift giving list. You give them the 3-inch mattress topper, 30% off with the promo code Kane, and you give them the 2 free MyPillows. That's a gift they will remember for years and years to come. All right. You can also order by phone, by the way, 1-800-716-5555. 4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE. KANE. All right, let's take our break. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to a lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, by the way, Steve Kane is COVID negative. Yes, sorry to our liberals out there, but yes. Negative for the COVID. All right, so, let me just finish up with this Dave Chappelle. I'm going to read an article from Vox about the Dave Chappelle special. It's a liberal online publication, Vox, and the headline is, What Dave Chappelle Gets Wrong About Trans People in Comedy. Oh, yeah, so Vox is going to tell Dave Chappelle about comedy. I remember on the Chappelle show, there were two things I remember with that from the Chappelle show that was amazing, which was like 15, 20 years ago now. I don't know how long ago that was on. He did one thing that was hilarious. It was filmed in a shopping mall, and it was, if the internet was a real place that you visited, what it would be like. You can find this on YouTube. It was hilarious. I can't describe it. I'll spoil it, but you go and watch it. But there was another thing he did. It was very funny. Dave Chappelle played a blind man who was a white supremacist, and there was a television crew doing a documentary on him. It was a very funny piece because he's black, and he was blind, and he didn't know he was black, and he was a white supremacist, and he was traveling around with all these white supremacist Klansmen to all these racist events, and none of the white supremacists had the heart to tell him he was black. And it was hilarious. He goes to this thing, and then he's doing an interview with this, at the end of it, he's doing an interview with the newsman who was doing the documentary. You can find this on YouTube. I am sure this is on YouTube. Watch it after I go off the air at 9. Do not watch it while I am live streaming and on the radio. So he's doing an interview at the end with the documentary newsman who tells him, you were African American, you're black, right? Which he had no idea because he's blind, and he says, I wondered, then he says, oh, I wondered why my blank was so big, and that's like the end of it. It was hilarious. Very brilliant. Very brilliant man. But Vox, this left-wing news publication, they're going to tell Dave Chappelle what he has wrong about comedy. One of the funniest 10 men that have ever lived. Now this is, I'm going to just read the article from Vox, and this is from 3-4 days ago. Toward the end of Dave Chappelle's incendiary Netflix stand-up special, The Closer, he says something revealing about the fight he's waged against trans people. He's not waged a fight against anybody. And I find it interesting that no one's taking issue with him breaking the world record for using the N-word the most times in an hour and 12-minute special. I've never heard the N-word used so many times. No one seems bothered by that. He says something revealing about the fight he's waged against trans people, a fight that's drawn Netflix itself into the fray and which led to a walkout and protest against the company on October 20th. After discussing the death of his friend, a trans comedian named Daphne Dorman, who Chappelle also mentioned in his previous special, Chappelle makes a joke where the punchline is to blatantly misgender her. Then he says, I got to read this slow in case there's some words I can't use on the radio. He said, then Chappelle says, as hard as it is to hear a joke like that, I'm telling you right now, Daphne would have loved that joke. As I've attempted to grapple with the aims of Chappelle's comedy, this line has stuck with me. Chappelle's use of Dorman as a kind of totem for this type of relationship he'd like to have with the trans community at large is both telling and confusing. Not because of what it says about Chappelle and Dorman, but because of what it says about the nature of comedy and the nature of pain. Trans people have expressed outrage at both Chappelle and Netflix for amplifying overtly transphobic and anti-scientific views about gender and trans identity. In his defense of Chappelle, Netflix CEO said that he didn't believe The Closer could cause any real-world harm. Then, after recanting that statement, said that trans people would simply have to deal with the special being on the platform. What we wind up with, then, is The Closer could cause real-world harm, but trans people will just have to get over it. This is Vox's writing. What harm is being caused by this? So perhaps the real question is, should trans people have to get over it? Yes, seems to be the answer from The Closer, more or less. There's no getting around the reality that transphobic rhetoric... By the way, he made an anti-Semitic, very anti-Semitic joke. Very anti-Semitic joke early on in the special. About Jews invading the planet Earth. It was very strange. And I don't see anyone taking issue with that. Throughout The Closer, Chappelle argues that many queer and trans people enjoy white privilege and that their white privilege makes them essentially protected than Chappelle and other black men in America. He says, Chappelle, gay people are minorities until they need to be white again. Chappelle gets close to lobbying a critique of social justice movements that mainly focus on aiding white people. But his analysis lacks nuance. He frames whiteness as the protective color most gay and transgender people default to, ignoring black trans people in the course of the show. Chappelle repeatedly attempts to redirect the conversation back to concerns of black oppression and violence against black communities. These are serious problems, but in contrast, he treats the equality movement among sexual and gender minorities as essentially shrill window dressing. It goes on. See, this is what Chappelle does in this special, other than be incredibly funny, talking on all the topics of the day, including some of the funniest jokes. The first jokes I've heard about COVID, real jokes I've heard about COVID from a comedian that's not a political person. What he talks about a lot is he talks about the current woke Gen X, or Gen Z, I'm Gen X, Gen Z and millennial gays and trans people compared to the Stonewall gay rights era. When people were coming out of the closet who were tough, and it wasn't cool or hip to be gay or trans back then, and people did it. And how this generation are just a bunch of wimps. And it is true that they do invoke their white privilege. Really what they do is they use intimidation. They use intimidation tactics against people that they don't like. The woke crowd are the anti-woke people. The woke crowd are the true bigots. And it's very clear when you watch this Dave Chappelle special. All right, I'm going to take our break here for the bottom of the hour. I'm going to get into some other issues. But I certainly would like to hear your thoughts on this. And I know a lot of MAGA people, you don't like Netflix because they made that deal with the Obamas, and I get it. But it is worth getting Netflix to see the MAGA of comedy, which I think is Dave Chappelle. I think Dave Chappelle is doing this country, doing our entire society an incredible favor by being the first person outside of the world of politics, being the first person to truly stand up against these spoiled babies in the woke movement. And you really, truly should have a lot of respect for what he is doing. He always risks a lot. You know, he did something that was amazing. He walked away from the Chappelle show. Was that on Comedy Channel, Comedy Central? They offered him $50 million to continue to do that show, and he walked. So he always does things that are controversial, and this is certainly one of them. But he may not realize this, Dave Chappelle, but he's MAGA. In so many ways, Dave Chappelle, he's MAGA. He really is. And everyone, except these trans people that are upset with him now, everyone agrees he's funny, and everyone likes him. So that's the way it is. So I would like to hear your calls on that. MAGA Dave Chappelle, and anything else I brought up today. Our number toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. We needed a new roof, and we knew we needed a new roof, but we just procrastinated. We saw wet spots on the ceilings. We called Tom Laporta, and he came out. He did a free roof inspection, which he does for everybody, not just us. And sure enough, we needed a new roof. We had a mold problem. It was only going to get worse. He dealt with our HOA association. He fixed our roof. Not only did he take care of the roof, he took care of the ceiling stains. So they removed all the popcorn, they cleaned everything up, they painted, they sealed, inside and out. Everything is beautiful. And I have to tell you, when we get those hard South Florida rainstorms, it is such a pleasure to listen to the raindrops on the roof and not have to worry about it leaking or causing further problems. The staff was courteous. Tom answered every question. Call Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. He does residential and commercial properties, and his cell number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Make sure you tell him Lori Kane sent you.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to change stories here when I get back, but you're all still welcome to call in on Chappelle.
Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin.
I missed a couple days of my daily water ration here, and
learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets.
I'm all crusty now, so I got to get back on my water kick.
Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat.
I don't know what you mean. Tanya's Dark Room, 007. I don't quite get the. Call me on the air. Explain what you mean.
That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, guys, welcome back. My name's Brian. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, 36 minutes after the hour. Okay, now there's the Capitol breach. The January 6th committee is starting to go rogue now. They're expanding. They're expanding. And there's an article in The Hill I'm going to share with you that is citing an article that was in Rolling Stone. But listen to this. Democratic lawmakers are renewing calls to expel any member of Congress implicated in the January 6th riot at the Capitol following reporting that witnesses recently informed congressional investigators of their coordination with lawmakers. A Sunday story from Rolling Stone. When's the last time Rolling Stone was relevant, huh? You know when they were relevant? They did a story about 10 years ago on Stern. And I like Howard Stern, so I went to get it, and I couldn't believe how thin, how small Rolling Stone was. Oh my gosh, it was like the size of my high school newspaper. A Sunday story from Rolling Stone did not directly tie lawmakers to the violent assault on the Capitol, but two sources who spoke to Rolling Stone detailed multiple meetings with members of Congress to coordinate events. The sources reportedly have met with the House committee investigating the January 6th attack at the Capitol, the Liz Cheney committee. They outlined dozens of planning briefings, adding that those who either participated or sent top staffers include Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Mo Brooks, Madison Cawthorn, Louis Gohmert. The source, and there's others. Those are my favorites on the list, though. Those are great people, all of them. The sources told Rolling Stone that Mark Meadows, President Trump's chief of staff, played a significant role in discussions regarding the protest ahead of January 6th. This is a very important story, and I'm going to tell you what they're doing here in just a moment, but let me read. This is in The Hill. Any member of Congress who helped plot a terrorist attack on our nation's capital must be expelled, said Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That's AOC. This was a terror attack. 138 injured, almost 10 dead. Those responsible remain a danger to our democracy, our country, and human life in the vicinity of our capital and beyond, she said. Democrat from California, Congresswoman Norma Torres, suggested GOP members' involvement would violate their oath of office. Okay. And then another thing here. Others recently subpoenaed by the January 6th committee implicated lawmakers in the planning. Okay. Here's what's going on. And this story is going to start to get more and more traction. Just started yesterday, and this is what they're doing here. Okay? There was a Trump rally that day in the Washington Mall with President Trump giving a speech in front of the White House, which is about a mile away from the Capitol. There were two events that happened on January 6th. There was the Trump rally in front of the White House, and there was the Capitol breach. Two separate events, both planned by different people, if you get my drift on that one. But there were two separate events, the Capitol breach on one end of the mall and the Trump rally in front of the White House at the other end of the mall. What they're doing is they're commingling the events. They're making both events into one event in the public perception, in the media narrative, in the dialogue, and according to the January 6th committee. Many conservatives, including, I'm sure, Steve Bannon, were involved in planning the Trump rally in front of the White House. So they have arrested hundreds of people, nearly 600 people. Many of them have already gone through the entire legal process and are doing their time now. Some of them are still awaiting due process in solitary confinement and such. You know the stories and how all that goes. But they haven't gotten a major charge or conviction out of anyone who went in the Capitol that day. And no one has been charged with insurrection. Brandon Straka was the most high-profile person that was arrested. But charges have been dropped against Brandon Straka, the founder of the Walk Away movement. And I really haven't gotten the whole story on that. He's on the down low, which I get right now. So, since they didn't get anything out of the actual Capitol breach legally like they thought they would, they're expanding. So now what they're saying, is that if Mark Meadows and Marjorie Taylor Greene and other Republicans were involved in the planning of the Trump rally in front of the White House, that is, of course, in their mind, that is the same as planning the Capitol breach. That's what they're doing. That's what the Rolling Stone article was about. This article in The Hill, which is left-wing, that's what this article is implying. And I saw this reported in many other places, including the Daily Mail, but it's being reported all over the place. But I haven't heard anyone spell it out like I'm doing. There was the Capitol breach at one end of the mall, and then there was the Trump rally in front of the White House at the other end of the Washington Mall. They're commingling the events. They are separate events. The Trump rally has nothing to do with that Capitol breach. And no one in Trump's orbit had anything to do with that. But they figure they got the media, they've got public perception that they can mold into it, and that's what they are going to do. And the reason they're doing that is because we're approaching the end of the year, we're coming up on a new year, and it's an election year. And next year is going to be all about the midterm elections. And they're trying to set the stage with this. They're trying to set the stage with this as an election issue because everything going on with the Democrats right now is so bad. They can't even pass a bill through Congress, and they control everything. They control the White House. They control the Congress. They can't get a bill. They can't even get a bill passed, and things are bad. And they're alienating the public. So that's what they're doing, and it seems as if that's what they plan on doing with Steve Bannon. Man, oh man, oh man! This is really a scary time. There's an incredible article in many conservative news outlets, and let me pull this up. I saw this on Trending Politics yesterday, as well as the Gateway Pundit and other places. The mystery man A.G. Garland won't deny was a Fed inciting January 6th rioters was scrubbed from the FBI's most wanted list. This is from Trending Politics. Listen, Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie at a House hearing on Thursday grilled Attorney General Merrick Garland about a mystery man, Ray Epps, who was suspected of inciting far-right extremists and Trump supporters to storm the Capitol on January 6th. On January 5th, in a video that has been widely viewed on Twitter, Epps can be heard saying, quote, "I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested. I'll say it, we need to go to the Capitol," unquote. Ray Epps told the Arizona Republic in a brief telephone interview following the riots that he had traveled to the Capitol, but he had been advised by an attorney not to speak about it. They have a video here which shows him saying, "We're here to defend the Constitution. We need to go to the Capitol." So he was and he's got a MAGA hat on. He's egging people on to go to the Capitol. On January 8th, this is in Trending Politics. You can go to trendingpolitics.com, read the whole article, and watch these videos. On January 8th, the FBI field office tweeted out a photo that included a man who appears to be Epps. It seems he can be seen in photograph number 16 at the bottom left of a tweet series. The FBI suspect in photo number 16 can be seen in this full barricade breach. And they have a video here. Ray Epps was thus among the very first people to instigate the January 6th riot, and there's a video in this article that shows it. He is working with a clean-cut, athletic young man who also fits the profile of a federal agent. Revolver News has now found that Epps was quietly scrubbed from the FBI's January 6th most wanted list in a lengthy deep dive investigation that I can't get sidetracked in because that's like 20 pages of stories. But they have a link to all that information in this article in Trending Politics. You can go to trendingpolitics.com, see all this. On January, let me go through here. Much of the terrain in the article that readers are expected to be familiar with is a viral Twitter thread that raised the profile of Epps and put him on many readers' profiles. And it goes through a bunch of stuff here. As Revolver News points out, those suspects who were arrested get an arrested label put underneath their photos on the FBI's wanted list. However, Epps' photo was outright deleted from the page. Revolver News also points out that not only did Epps instruct commandos in the crowd at his attention to rush into the Capitol, but he also protected cops and law enforcement so no local or federal officers would be harmed during breaches. And there's a video showing this. The New York Times, it goes on and on and on. But people believe he's a federal agent. I don't know if he is or not, but people believe he was an undercover federal agent in the crowd, and he was one of the ones that was egging people on and really hurting people towards the Capitol. And here's the thing, we don't know. We don't have a definitive answer on this guy. But the January 6th committee is not interested in this or answers. They want Trump and anyone around him, whether it's Steve Bannon, Mark Meadows, or the great Marjorie Taylor Greene, to be indicted and connected to it. They don't want, this is not a committee about the truth. I would very much welcome a public investigation with witnesses live on television getting to the bottom of the Capitol breach, which was wrong. We don't support that. When I say we, I'm talking about me and you out there. You don't support that kind of behavior. But this man was hurting people in there. So finding out more about this character is very important. Not trying to say now, as they're doing, that the Trump rally in front of the White House was the same as the Capitol breach. The people in front of the White House didn't even know what was going on down at the other end. I'm going to take our last break of the first hour. Those of you who want to hold, stand by. I'll take some calls when we get back from the break. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my MyPillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price. Got it home and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, now this is a great time to call Scott at Cut My Kilowatts. Talk to him about radiant barrier to lower your electric bill, and I'll tell you why it's a great time. Also, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, give him a call. I'm going to give you Scott from Cut My Kilowatts number in just a moment. It rings directly to his cell phone. Because it's a little cooler now, his crews can work in the attic longer. An attic is like 135 degrees during the summer. It's still hot, but not as hot. So they can get the work done faster. So he saves a lot of money on the labor costs right now, and he passes that savings on to you. So no matter where you are in Florida, call Scott. He can help you. And that's an electricity savings that lasts forever in your home. His number, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Lower your electric bill. Call Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, 954-939-1500. 939-1500. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, hi.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Tanya's Darkroom. Good morning.
Tanya Darkroom. All right, Tanya, what's on your mind?
You told me to call in and...
Oh, I saw you in the chat room. I said I didn't understand what you were saying in the chat room on YouTube to call me and explain.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were wanting me to explain. My comment about, there's spoiled babies also, or my comment to someone who said they were disappointed in Donald Trump and that he promised to drain the swamp and, expose this, or basically said drain the swamp. And I was just responding back to him, hey, people can have their gripes with Jesus Christ and say, well, he was supposed to deliver, the Jews and, do this and that and bring salvation to the Jews at that time and, pick him apart, and Donald Trump is not Jesus Christ, so.
Well, Donald Trump, it has been draining the swamp. It's not something that can be done overnight. This MAGA movement to take back this country, and really this country is the establishments of both parties are owned by the donors. I was talking, an example I gave yesterday on the show, I was talking about this hypersonic missile that China has. I don't believe it exists. And I believe the hypersonic Chinese missile is a lie. And the reason that I believe they're lying about it, and I don't mean the Chinese, I'm talking about the U.S. government, is because the military donors, the military companies that donate boatloads of money to the politicians are now going to get unlimited government funds to build a defense to the non-existent hypersonic missile and, of course, develop our own version of it. And it's just, that's how the government works. It's a lie. That's the swamp. This country, like in the X-Files, they were always wondering who the secret government was. In the X-Files, that was the whole thing. The secret government are the donors. And Donald Trump is taking this country back from them.
I mean, I was like, just responding back that Jesus exposed a lot of sin, and he spoke directly to the Sadducees and the Pharisees. I think your wife was talking about this on your evening show.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, he did that, and, they still, killed Jesus, but look what...
Absolutely.
Again, John Stewart said, "Oh, he's y'all acting like he's Magneto." It's two different complexes going on, and I was just pointing out that he did what he came to do. Look what he was up against.
Jacqueline, $20 super sticker. Thank you. Everyone, thank Jacqueline
I'm a black
for that.
woman. I talked to my nieces and.
Yeah, I could tell you're black, but with you have it, by your voice, I know.
They're seeing this. And, a lot of black people, they see it too, that are God-fearing and they're, conservative. And they just feel that, hey, well, I can't speak up about Donald Trump. I'll get ripped to shreds. So, speaking to my, older sister, she was ripped to shreds on Facebook just by saying, she wasn't even mentioning anything about Donald Trump. She found out a lot of her friends who are, that she had to get rid of on Facebook were liberals, deranged, these pro-black people, and foaming at the mouth. How dare you, say that, this criminal shouldn't be elevated? And, she said that she had to do a very big dump.
Well, I'll tell you, about blacks in this country. Most black people think they're Democrats, but they're really conservatives. They just don't know it because they've been brainwashed to think something. If you went to any black neighborhood in this country and you took 100 people and you started asking them questions about Donald Trump's platform, they would agree with almost every bit of it. But they've been brainwashed to think Republicans are the Klan, and they just don't know any different. They haven't been exposed. And this whole idea of people like Candace Owens being red-pilled and all this stuff, Most black people are conservative. They just don't know it.
Yeah, I know as a kid growing up, I was told, okay, you're a Democrat, I think by a teacher or something like that, but my mom and my dad was 100% conservative, and they followed that ideology like to the T. And we open-minded, and my dad listened to rock music. My mom listened to Hall & Oates. And so, I just grew up in a diverse environment where, hey, if, we don't believe this, we believe in Jesus Christ.
That's right.
The higher power, and, the baby boomers and stuff, I think they're just, they're very quiet. They just want to toe the line. It just depends on who.
Well, what I'm seeing now, and this is really a big problem. We got a big problem in this country these days. There was a group of people like John Lewis's general. I met John Lewis once, and I was very proud to meet him. And because he walked with Martin Luther King, he knew what it was really. Now he got weird later on, but today. Black people, what I'm seeing are a lot of black people come out of the closet as anti-white racist, like I've never seen racism. And I've seen racism. I've seen white racist people. I can remember in the 80s, my first job here in Florida, I was a bag boy at Publix here in Florida, and this was like in the mid-80s, and black people would come shopping in the store, and the managers would follow them around the store to make sure they didn't steal. I mean, can you imagine? But this generation, they're not experiencing that kind of nonsense. And exactly.
I mean, I've never in my entire life been called the N-word, period. There's one experience where my brother, he was called the N-word by his friend. He called him a friend. They were playing touch football. I'll never forget it. I was 12 years old. And his friend said, called him the N-word. He was cheating in the touch football game. Well, he said something really agreed. He said that to my brother. My brother head, but they got to fighting, and his dad came out and took my brother's side. And so it's instances like that where you can't refute it. I mean, if you are very hateful. And you have a chip on your shoulder. This is my mom used to say. You got a chip on your shoulder. No matter what the truth is, you have an agenda. You're trying to destroy that person, and you're just trying to set an agenda to where.
Well, listen, this thing with the N-word, I was talking about earlier. Dave Chappelle in his new special uses the N-word more in 1 hour than I've ever heard it used by anyone, and no one's taking issue with that. No one's taking issue with that, and no, I mean, where's I'm shocked that there's no outrage towards that, and I was it's amazing when there's so much controversy centering around this. All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. I got to run for our break at the top of the hour. Take care. That's one of our viewers on YouTube Live. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. Come back with the second hour of the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Saddlefoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of
Steve Kane Show.
is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve.
Alrighty, hour number 2 has begun. 3 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. I was telling you guys, yesterday I went out of town with my daughter for the weekend. Friday, left Friday after the show, came home Sunday, stayed in a very nice hotel at Universal Studios in Orlando, and I woke up Saturday morning with just incredibly bad back pain, the lower right side of my back. Oh, it was awful. And all day, all night, we're going, and I'm in a lot of pain. And I wake up Sunday morning in the hotel bed in even more pain. And I was in so much pain. The drive back home, I usually drive straight through, and I'm like, I got to stop and get out and stretch my back and walk. I got to do something. I'm in so much pain. I get home Sunday afternoon. I'm on the couch in so much pain. And I told my wife, I'm going to go lay down. I'm going to go to bed early tonight. I go in to watch TV. My wife comes in an hour later. She says, how's your back doing? I said, the pain's gone. The pain's gone. That was just an hour of lying on my MyPillow mattress topper watching TV. It was amazing. And not only is the pain gone, it has not returned. And I've heard my wife and others talk about how great for the back and back pain the MyPillow mattress topper is. There's nothing like experiencing it for yourself. It's absolutely amazing. Now, the MyPillow mattress topper, if you don't have one already, it's a great gift for yourself, but it is an incredible Christmas gift to give everyone on your gift giving list. They come in all sizes. Now, there's an incredible special going on right now. When you use our promo code at checkout, KANE, K-A-N-E, save 30% off the 3-inch mattress topper. That's the one I have, the 3-inch mattress topper, which is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell and MyPillow manufacture. 30% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows. It's an incredible deal, but you've got to use our promo code at checkout, KANE, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, now, Dr. Fauci, who sounds more like Dr. Frankenstein with this puppygate going on, Dr. Anthony Fauci is now under heavy fire for agonizing conditions that were recently revealed for dogs used for research under his agency's grants or at his own laboratories. But Dr. Fauci, who's been director of the National Institute for Allergies and Infectious Diseases since 1984 has been granting billions with a B in taxpayer funds for cruel, abusive, and often unnecessary animal experiments for years. The White Coat Waste Project, the nonprofit that first pointed out that U.S. taxpayers were being used to fund the Wuhan lab, recently revealed dogs were tormented with the Fauci dispersed taxpayer money for experiments conducted under dubious bioethical conditions with lax oversight. Our investigators show that Fauci's division shipped part of a $375,800 grant to a lab in Tunisia to drug beagles and lock their heads in mesh cages filled with hungry sandflies so that the insects could eat them alive. White Coat Waste told the Changing America. They also locked beagles alone in cages in the desert overnight for 9 consecutive nights to use them as bait to attract infectious sandflies. White Coat Waste claims that 44 beagle puppies were used in a Tunisia, North Africa lab. Some of the dogs had their... This is a tough thing to read. Some of the dogs had their vocal cords removed so scientists could work without their barking. According to the White Coat Waste Project, the Food and Drug Administration does not require drugs to be tested on dogs. So the group is asking why the need for such White Coat Waste obtained documentation of funds issued to the University of Georgia Research Foundation, $425,555, to determine the efficacy of, of a potential vaccine using beagles as test subjects. The Daily Caller, with a Freedom of Information Act request, shows that 28 beagles were to develop infections for 3 months before being euthanized, and there's photographs. I can't read anymore. I don't like anything that involves dogs, animals at all. Even as a kid, I never, even still to this day, I do not watch movies or television shows about animals. Because I can't stand cruelty to animals. I hate it when those Humane Society commercials come on TV to donate to the Humane Society. I hate it. My wife and I support our local Humane Society every month. Okay? And let me tell you, Governor DeSantis called Fauci a mad scientist yesterday. And there's no better description. This is like Dr. Frankenstein here. In some ways worse than Dr. Frankenstein, because Dr. Frankenstein was experimenting on dead bodies. Wasn't killing people to create his monster. And in America, you can be involved in a lot of things. But one of the very few things in American society that is a bipartisan issue is standing up strong against animal cruelty. And one of the worst things that you can accuse someone of is being cruel to puppies, which is what this story exposes, beagle puppies. This is one of the, I know it sounds crazy to some, but the worst thing you can say to someone is that they harm puppies, because that's just the way it is in America. Governor DeSantis and others are calling on Fauci to be fired. And not only should he be fired, he really should be investigated. I mean, why would where's PETA? Let me go to PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I know they still exist. We used to have them on the show all the time, talking about the circuses. You know, I'm an animal rights person. You know, when my daughter was little, I took her to the zoo, but I really am not a zoo person. I don't even like zoos. I'm going to go to the PETA website and see if they have a statement on this. Let's see. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, haven't had an issue in a long, long time. Of course, you go to the website, and they're asking for donations, and they show an animal being neglected. I can't get this beyond the page asking for money. Okay, hold on. Okay, PETA, they have a statement on Fauci. Let's see here. They have a statement. This is PETA. PETA.org, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, the premier animal rights activist organization. Experimenters fed puppies' head. Oh my gosh, this is worse. Whew. This is PETA's press release. Experimenters, these are the Fauci-funded experiments. Experimenters fed puppies' heads to infected flies, but that's not all Fauci-funded. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Anthony Fauci has come under public attack, this is PETA's statement, over torment funded by his agency. PETA says in their statement, this is President Joe Biden's chance at change. It's never been clearer that Fauci's next boss must be pro-modern science and anti-animal testing. New reports allege that Fauci's National Institutes of Health Division greenlit test in which experimenters drugged beagle puppies, locked their heads in cages filled with hungry infected sandflies. The drug tests were executed even though the FDA doesn't require new drugs to be tested on dogs. Fauci's reported experiments on dogs are just the tip of the iceberg. At NIH, that's his organization, the rot runs deep and it goes to the top, but PETA has a solution. And they go through a long thing. I mean, and PETA here, this is amazing. This is amazing because now Fauci, something about Fauci has gone too far. I'm on the PETA website, and they have two stories that were from television that they have embedded in their news story on their website press release. The first is a PETA person on Newsmax TV being interviewed. The next one is a PETA person being interviewed by Tucker Carlson on Fox News. And then they have photographs of the studies, and I'm going to close it out because I don't want to look at it anymore. This may finally be the end of Fauci from public life. He may be forced into retirement right quick, because once someone is viewed as an abuser of animals, they're done. They're done. And if it takes this to get life back to normal and get him out of the sphere of authority, so be it. And I hope it does. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning, conservative doctor.
Oh my goodness! I mean, this is a tough topic for me. I didn't bring this up yesterday, and that was not by accident. I don't like talking about. I've avoided reading these stories because I don't like to read stories of animal abuse.
Me too, man. I can tell you a quick story, but first, the spots you didn't cut out their vocal cords to not have barking, not to hear them screaming in pain. You know, I once.
Yes.
I was a government auctioneer in New York. Somebody came over to me and had a chemical lab in New Jersey that I would have made a ton of money. I walked into a room, and, you know, maybe there's no such thing as vibe, but I walked into this room, and all of a sudden I felt like pain. I said to the guy, did you guys experiment on dogs here, on animals? Oh, yeah, how do you know that? I said, how do I know that? I feel it. Get out, I'm leaving. What do you mean you're leaving? I walked out. I said I couldn't do it. Couldn't be in that building. These lowlifes have been killing and hurting animals for years and years. It's about time.
Yeah, did they do it with Fauci money like they did in Tunisia and this and this Georgia thing? Was that in Georgia, the former Soviet republic, or in America's Georgia? I think it might have been in Russia, but this is a line that in American culture, once someone crosses it, they're done. And they're done.
Yeah, and you know, the guy yelled at me. He says, "Oh, how are we supposed to make things safe for people if we don't experiment on animals? You don't.
Oh my goodness.
You know, this is a sick mentality, and it's really sad.
Yep. That's Fauci.
One thing I wanted to say, you mentioned that you're the number 3
Steve Kane Show
podcast in America.
Hold on.
Now, I don't know everybody.
No. Excuse me. It named the number 3 must listen to conservative podcast in America. Yes.
I don't know everybody in media and TV or radio, but I know you and Steve is certainly the number 1 guy supporting Trump and Ron DeSantis. And I would think that now that it's not a little quiet time, it would be really nice to have both of them, or maybe have their staff tell them, to make a quick call to you just to say thank you for your support.
Well, I don't need a thank you from President Trump. An autographed MAGA hat from President Trump. Now that would be, I would put that in the safe deposit box at the bank if I had that. Oh my goodness.
Something. I mean, I know you don't need it, but it was certainly a feather in your cap to have somebody call you in just to say thank you. I'm listening.
Well, I know for a fact that President Trump has listened to this program. I know for a fact. Word has gotten to me.
Okay, that's great. Well, all your listeners would be really pleased if they just made a quick phone call, even if it's off the air and just a recording, just to say something nice. Man, it'd be really nice. Anyway, this Fauci guy got to go there.
Well, he does. I do. You know, he does do some work for us. You know, I've got some spots that Trump has done for us. You've heard them.
They were good, but certainly.
You know, and I do appreciate them.
You guys deserve it. I mean, there's nobody more behind either one of them, Trump and DeSantis.
Oh yeah. And I say with pride, you will never hear me disagree with Trump. Like, let me play. Trump does a lot for us. Listen to this.
President Donald Trump here. When Melania and I put our heads down at night, it's on a MyPillow. And when we order MyPillows, we always use the best promo code, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com. That's Kane for huge savings. That's promo code Kane at MyPillow.com.
Now, that's pretty cool. Isn't that nice? I went up to Mar-a-Lago myself and recorded that, yes.
Good job. But now, to have the real guy be really...
That is the real guy. That is the real guy. No, I appreciate it, Conservative Doug. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Andrea. What's up?
What people have to understand about Dr. Fauci is that he's not Frankenstein. He's Dr. Mengele.
Mm.
So if you do some research, somebody published a book quite a few years ago about when Fauci was dealing with the AIDS epidemic. And he did the exact same thing that he's doing with COVID. He denied people less, he made treatments less available. He pushed one specific treatment. So he did not allow people to have freedom of choice. He pushed what he wanted them to have. This has been a pattern for this man. Now, what's going on with him and these puppies? This is one of the most sick things I've ever heard of. And you know what? This goes beyond. This actually goes beyond animal cruelty. This is like crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
Which he is not even a sociopath. He is a psychopath.
And no one could tell me that Fauci doesn't know and follow where every penny goes, because that's where his power lies. He knows what every penny is spent on that he doles out. And you know, I didn't get into this story about the dogs and Fauci yesterday because I didn't want to read the stories. They're difficult for me to read. I don't want to know about this stuff. But I felt like this morning that I have an obligation to do it.
But now you know what the tell is going to be, Brian? This is what the tell's going to be, and the tell's going to be on PETA. If they don't have people protesting the NIH, if there's not a massive protest about the NIH at the NIH facilities, if there's not protest over this, then PETA has just now played their hands in.
Well, PETA, PETA hasn't been around in a long time. I haven't heard from PETA in years, but I find it interesting on their press release, they have 2 video clips embedded, one from Newsmax and then the one with Tucker on Fox. That CNN, MSNBC, I guess, doesn't want to speak with them.
But if they're so animal rights, as they claim to be, and a lot of animals...
Oh, they are. I believe they are. I believe they are.
They should be out there. They should be out there demanding for some type of investigation. Like, this is beyond sick. This is sick with this.
And there's no and there's no need for this type of research any longer.
No, because what is the ultimate purpose of this? And they use beagles because beagles are trusting dogs.
Yeah.
Goes to show you how absolutely sick this guy is. He is sick. And it speaks a lot about the Biden administration. If nothing happens to this guy, if they don't demand that he step down, if there's not protest in the streets, everybody sees this is the draining of the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing exactly.
Well, I'm expecting to hear from PETA. They have a press release. They did some TV yesterday, and it's been many years since PETA has had an issue. They were big on the circuses, and the circuses are gone. And and there was a lot of cruelty on. We didn't know. I used to go to the circus. We didn't know. We know now, but they haven't had an issue for a long time, so they may not have an organization to mobilize like that because they haven't done it in years. But I'll tell you, they used to have chapters in every town in America. I don't know if they still do. I used to always tell this to my single guy friends. If you're a single guy and you're having a tough time meeting a girl, join PETA. They're all single and they're mostly hot. So if you're out there single guys, find your local PETA chapter, all right? Hey, Andrea, I'm not kidding. I got a break. I'm a little late for the break, but thanks for the call, Andrea. All right, take care. 23 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break and be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great my pillow
Steve Kane Show.
are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our
listeners, hold on.
Todd.
Steve Kane Show.
My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio.
Okay, hold on.
About his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling you testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress. My old mattress was getting old, so my wife's like, "Why don't you try my?"
Andrea's calls are always good. She's always good.
I went on. I used your promo code Kane. I got great price. Got it home and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
Got a little itch in my ear.
Mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that My Pillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a My Pillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your My Pillow mattress topper and receive 2 free My Pillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big My Pillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for help.
All right, we are back 25 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number 1 888 Kane 1. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm calling from Lighthouse Point.
Lisa in Lighthouse Point. How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to let you know.
Andrea,
I
super chat.
actually
Thank
work
you.
for a family
Lisa
that takes care
Vanderpump
of a little
spoke up.
boy, and they gave me
from the
a
Real
Target
Housewives.
gift card. So it's one of like the little gifts, whatever. And so it's going online. There's
Wesley, how does super chat? Thank you, Wesley.
Book,
Good morning,
because I was
Brian.
looking for books for little kids.
Dr. Fauci Stein. There you go. I like
The
it.
kids that want to do like pre-Christmas stuff, and there's a little book out, Dr. Fauci, How a Boy from Brooklyn Became America's Doctor, and it was
I want to thank Andrea and
done on June 29th,
for those super
2021,
chats. Mm-hmm.
at the age of 4 to 8 years old, and it's really concerning because I am like like this whole PETA thing you just brought up is because I got dogs and cats, and
Well, I tell you, when I was a little kid, I have a memory. I must have been like 3 years old of my father carrying me out of a movie theater, bawling in tears, and we went to see a Benji movie. Those of you guys that remember Benji, and I don't know what happened in the movie, but since that, it really, I'm not kidding. Since that time, I don't watch anything about. The only thing I ever watched about animals. When my daughter was little, there was that movie Cats and Dogs, which is a good movie. But other than Cats and Dogs, I don't watch anything about it. When those Humane Society commercials come on television, I'm out. Yeah.
I can't watch it. It's too sad. It's just, I start crying.
I'm sorry. And I think most Americans are that way. And you can do a lot. You can do a lot of terrible things, but it is true as a culture. The worst thing that you can accuse someone of doing is abuse of puppies. And that's what Fauci was doing beyond imagination.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but it's just interesting how they're, anyways, when you just brought this up, and I listened to you a little over 3 years, and you have a great show, you and Steve. I really appreciate it. Andrea's great. Richard the bus driver, I haven't heard from him today, but I love listening to you guys. I watch you on YouTube. So. Oh, great.
Lighthouse Point. I'll tell you, it's funny you mentioned Lighthouse Point. When my daughter was about 6 years old, I went outside. One of our cats had attacked a bird, and I went, and the bird was hurt bad. I went, and I was outside, and I went to get a shovel, and I was going to put the bird out of its misery. And my daughter looked out the window and saw what I was about to do and ran out and said, "You can't do it. You can't do it." And we went online, and we found in Lighthouse Point a woman in her backyard, which I'm sure her neighbors love this. She does work on birds, and we took the bird to this woman's house. She had surgery performed on the bird. She rehabilitates them in her backyard, which is netted in and as a bird sanctuary. It's in Lighthouse Point. At least it was. I don't know if she's still doing it. And then when the bird was healed and recovered, she actually brought the bird back to my house and released it, and it met up with its mate again. And that's amazing. Yeah, lady in Lighthouse Point.
That's good to know that there are people out there like that do that, and they can do that.
I did the same thing with a squirrel once. One of my cats had gotten a squirrel, and the squirrel was done. And I went to kill the squirrel. My daughter caught me again, and we found there's an animal recovery facility with vets that do surgery off of State Road 84 behind the Lester's Diner over there. And we put the squirrel in a shoebox, drove it over there. They did surgery, and a couple months later, they brought the squirrel back home and released it in my yard. So I don't talk about this stuff too much. I wouldn't consider myself an animal rights activist because in both of these instances, I was going to kill them, and my daughter stopped me. But I got a soft spot for the animals.
Me as well. But anyway, I just want to pass it along, and I hope this makes like regular stupid news, like ABC, NBC. It probably won't, but
well, this is what's going to turn. This will be the end of Dr. Fauci's public career. He'll retire over this. Hey, appreciate the call from Lighthouse Point. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Tom
up? It's your reality check out from Coral Springs.
Oh, yes.
What happened to your buddy Mike in Boca? Did he get arrested for the insurrection participation, or did he die from COVID like your other idiot listeners?
Yeah. What's your point? What are you trying to do? You trying to be funny? Do you think you're Dave Chappelle? What do you know?
I'm always exposing your hypocrisy. That's why you hate me.
Oh, so you expose hypocrisy by, excuse me, so you expose hypocrisy by slandering people that you don't even know? That's how you expose hypocrisy? Slandering people?
You said Dave Chappelle was MAGA? You're delusional.
Well, you don't have the mental capacity to understand the case I made.
Delusional, dude. Dave Chappelle, right on TMZ, said you will never see me in the red MAGA hat.
See, you didn't understand what I was saying. I didn't say he was MAGA supporting Donald Trump. I said Dave Chappelle is the MAGA of comedy. He is doing with comedy what Donald Trump has done to politics. He's draining the swamp.
Please, Brian. You chastise Democrats every day, calling us dirty and filthy, and you're glad you're not one anymore because you feel, some...
I didn't say Democrats are dirty and filthy. I said when I became a Republican, I went to the election supervisor's office in Plantation at that round courthouse over there, registered as a Republican. I walked out with my Republican voter registration card, and I felt clean. I didn't say you were dirty.
See, unfortunate for you, all your stuff is on YouTube, so anybody can go back to listen to all the nonsense you say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I welcome you to do that. Go back and watch all my YouTube videos, please.
Democrats are evil.
Well, that is true. That is true. Yes.
You'll never be a MAGA person. Never.
You, as I said, you do not have the intellectual capability to understand what I said to you about Dave Chappelle.
So dumb, Brian. I've exposed you so many times, man.
Oh, really? Expose me right now. Expose me right now. Make me look like a fool. Expose me.
When it gets hot, you hang up on me.
Expose me.
Excuse me, and then you mute me. You just mute me.
Well, if you don't, that's not exposing. If you've got on the radio, that's a technical thing. Oh, he hung up, by the way. On radio, only one piece of audio can broadcast at a time. It could be music, it could be commercials, or it could be voices speaking. And a lot of times people like Al, see, Al's a coward, that's why he hung up. Al's a coward. You cannot have two people talking at once. You've got to take turns talking. If two people are talking at once, it's mud. It's not like you're having a conversation at home or on the street. It's just part of the how radio works. So when you have someone who's a coward, like Al from Coral Springs, they won't stop talking so that you can get a word in. So you have to mute them so you can speak, so the audience listening on the radios or online can understand what is being said. Let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's 34 minutes after. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. 37 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. So Ron DeSantis let police officers around America know that if they want to relocate to Florida, that they'll get a $5,000 bonus, because veteran police officers are being fired all over this country over the mandates. And that's an amazing thing. And they're very upset, the liberals. You know, the job, governors have lots of responsibilities, but one thing that good governors do is do things that help the economy of their state. And I remember there was when I was in school, I don't know if I was in high school or middle school, you know, Burt Reynolds was a big movie star back then, and you know, the late Burt Reynolds. The governor of Florida, Burt Reynolds is from Jupiter, Florida, which is where Don Jr. and Kim Guilfoyle live, as well as Joe Scarborough and Mika. They live in Jupiter, Florida, but Burt Reynolds was from Jupiter, Florida, and he played football at Florida State, and he had relocated to Hollywood, and he was a big movie star. The governor of Florida traveled to Los Angeles to have a meeting with Burt Reynolds to get him to move to Florida, because he was not just a big movie star, but he was currently making, he was still doing movies and TV shows, so that Burt Reynolds would move here and bring movies to Florida, bring movie and TV show productions to Florida. You know, if you go online, Walt Disney, the #1 tourist destination on the planet is Walt Disney World. And if you go online and watch Walt Disney himself give a press conference, you see this on YouTube, announcing Walt Disney World is going to be located in Florida, sitting next to him was the governor of Florida at that time. And good governors, that's one of their primary things, is to, and you look at what Ron DeSantis is doing, it's all great, and the left hate him. We've got the shipping, the ships can't dock and unload their containers. DeSantis put out a call, come to Florida. Florida's a peninsula. We have ports all over the state. Come to Florida. We will unload them for you. And sure enough, ships are coming to Florida. Some are already here. They can't unload out in California and elsewhere. It's amazing. And this thing with police officers, you know, $5,000 bonus to police officers who relocate after being fired over the mandate. You know, it's great because you're bringing more. You can't have enough police, but also it saves Florida a lot of money at the same time, right? Because these are people that are already trained. Some of them are veteran officers. They've already been through academies and everything else, trained by their local departments. They just need a little brush up here and boom, they're already police officers. Just a little bit of training. A few weeks, they'll be out on their own. That's a good thing. You know? And they hate him for it. And all this talk about mandates, there's a governor's race going on. Is it New Jersey? And a story, I read a story this morning. They're saying that the governor is going to bring in mandates after the election. He's afraid to do them before, so he's going to do them after. And you keep, these stories where the left are just pushing and pushing these mandates, the people standing up against them, how do you think they're going to be voting in the midterms and in 2024? The left are actively creating, what they're doing is absolutely amazing. What the left are doing with these mandates, they're like knocking on people's, they might as well be from the GOP knocking on the door and registering people as Republicans. The Democrats, Biden and all the rest at the state and local level are creating more Republicans than the Republican Party could ever think about doing if they could knock on every door in America and do a pitch. People are leaving. They may not change their voter registration, but when it comes to election days, they're going to remember. And people want to move on and get on with their lives. Now, by the way, those of you that are wondering, because we were talking about Steve had another COVID scare. Steve is COVID-free. He's negative for COVID. Because I know I've been hearing from people today. That's a good thing. And any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs, they have same-day PCR testing. They have every other COVID test you need if you're traveling, if you need it for work. They have the lowest prices. They have instant results. They have the antibody test. They got everything else. And they also have every other lab test you need at both locations. But if you think you might have it, it's best to get tested as opposed to going around in a state of anxiety and not knowing. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road, north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441. Both locations open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary. Just walk right in. And I've been tested. I usually go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca, and Steve usually goes to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. I've been tested a lot over the last year, negative each time, but it's such a relief because I'm not wondering, right? But anyway, what Ron DeSantis is doing with the police officers, the reason that they're upset about this is because they think these local and state governments think that they can hold people's jobs over them and say you got to do what we want or you're going to lose your ability to support yourself and your family and feed your kids. And Ron DeSantis is not only giving them an alternative in the Sunshine State here, but he's offering them a $5,000 bonus to do it. And he's giving them an opportunity. He's giving them an out. And they hate him for it. And you look at what Ron DeSantis has done. Everything he's done, okay? We now have the lowest COVID infection rate in America and of any other state right now. And housing prices, my goodness. The people in my neighborhood, including one of my neighbors, they're selling their houses. Their kids are grown, they're selling their houses, and the prices are insane. I couldn't afford to live in my neighborhood now, And housing prices have gone through the roof. Why? Because of Ron DeSantis and everything he's done, because there's been such an exodus from around the country to Florida, what I call Ron DeSantis' free Florida. And the police officers is another example of it. Everything Ron DeSantis does, I belched. I'm sorry, guys. I've been drinking a lot of water, making me belch. Everything Ron DeSantis does is to benefit Florida. He's like our own Donald Trump. He's like the Donald Trump of Florida. He's amazing. He's going to be our second MAGA president, too. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning.
Oh, Richie I'm sorry. I'm supposed to do the big drum roll. Richie the bus driver is on the line. Hey, Richie.
Good morning. I'm glad Steve is okay. It had me crazy all day long. And I just want him to know.
Yeah, I was worried because I talked to Steve after the show. You know, I talked to him before the show. We thought he had COVID, and he had some symptoms. And I said, well, go get tested because you got to get that monoclonal, you know. And then I didn't hear from Steve until like 6, 7 o'clock last night. I was like, oh my goodness. But it was good news.
Yeah, he's at the age where we don't want to see anything happen to him, okay? And I want him to know that. Ron DeSantis, you know, I watch Channel 12 West Palm Beach News every night before bed. You can see the slant of the news app.
Oh, I watch that in the afternoons, and everything. The Palm Beach News, they just suck. They're so liberal. Yeah, they do.
Oh my God, everything. They're basically calling him a dictator and like Hitler. And they always get this Democrat, whether it be school board or whether it be one of your commissioners down there. I mean, you live in a real cesspool. I'm sorry.
They did, well, Mar-a-Lago's in that area. I wouldn't call that a cesspool. But, you know, they did 2 stories I saw on the local news in Palm Beach yesterday. I don't know if it was 12 or which one it was, but it was one of the Palm Beach outlets. One was on working homeless people who can't afford homes because of the high rents now because property values have gone up. Okay, and then they had another one on some. I guess it was some school board people wouldn't. The new Surgeon General of Florida wouldn't wear a mask in a meeting, and they were whining about it. You know.
Like Palm Beach.
Steve Kane Show.
Tone is liberal, and,
hey,
and you even have Parkland, and you have Coral Springs, which is polluted with people like Al, and Al has polluted all of Coral Springs. I want him to know that because I know he's still listening to you because that's what he is, a dirtbag, and we got a bunch of dirtbags down there now. But regardless, I'm looking at the Democratic Party, and I'm looking at how they are. We live in a house here in this country. They are literally burning the house down. They're gonna get thrown out on their behind. But are we gonna have anything left at the end of this? It's not like before. I mean, they're gonna pass this stinking bill that they got. I mean, mansions changed on us. And here we go, and this is fundamentally going to change this country forever. What they're going to pass here is going to be, I don't know how President Trump is going to be able to get rid of this.
Well, they're going to pass something eventually. Yeah. They're going to pass something eventually. I mean, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And in other words, they are burning our house down, and it's not going to be...
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, what they're doing is they're paying off all the donors. That's all this is. They're paying, build back better. They're paying off all the donors.
But their Green New Deal is involved in this thing. All of their mandates that they have, how are we going to be able to reverse it? It's going to be... And they're also funding Obamacare by the...
Yeah, I mean, look, even President Trump had very difficult times with Obamacare. He couldn't even... You know, these donors have so much power over the Congress. President Trump couldn't even get the interstate restrictions on insurance sales, through because these donors have so much control.
The $10,000 rule is in there too, which is
the $10,000 rule, and that's $10,000 a year. Who has a bank account that doesn't have $10,000 a year? I was talking about this yesterday. I think that's a fake issue they threw in there, this bank account thing, so that it's in there now, but it's something at the last moment they're going to pull out and make it look like they gave some big concession. It's because these politicians are as corrupt as the day is long. They don't want that in there either. It's a fake issue.
So they're still putting all these IRS agents on their hiring. So what do you think they're going to be hiring them for? For one thing, I mean, this is...
that's how they're paying for the bill.
Oh, God, this is terrible. But anyway, I'm glad Steve is okay and give him...
Oh, yeah, I know. Because Steve and I usually talk like 20 times a day, and I didn't hear from him, and I'm like, he must be getting the monoclonal, or something. I have not talked to Steve today. I didn't call him this morning. But, the world, the playoffs are going on and all that stuff, so, Hey, Richie the Bush... the baseball games have been going on for a week or two, right? Oh, my gosh. You're not going to hear much. Steve will take a lot of time off during the World Series because he's a gambling addict and will be up all night watching the World Series. So, yeah, I'd have no interest in any of that. All right, listen, let's take our last break of the second hour. It's 10 before 8. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465 2631. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
You've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seams,
Steve Kane Show,
and slate tile systems.
No.
Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, 7 before 8. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Greg 2. Good morning.
Hey Brian, it's Greg.
Yes, that's why I said Greg 2. Good morning. Yes, Greg. What's up?
Yes. Listen, you know what? First and foremost, thank God Steve's okay. I reiterate what Richie said. But listen.
Thank God he's okay, but why is there a but after that?
Thank you.
And then you said but. Okay.
Well, but this Fauci story, it disturbed me. Just you reading it, and I think you had a difficult time reading it. What is this man up to? I mean, we've got to remove him. I mean, we've got to take some action. Don't you agree?
Yeah, Ron DeSantis called him a mad scientist. He's like Dr. Frankenstein. Someone in the chat room said Dr. Fauci-Stein. I like that. That'd be a great Saturday Night Live sketch this weekend. But yeah, he's a sick man. I knew Dr. Fauci was a bad guy. I never heard of Fauci before the Trump press conferences. Dr. Burke I knew because she'd been in a bunch of AIDS documentaries, and I remember she looked familiar to me. I didn't know her, but she seemed familiar to me. But Fauci, and I've talked about this before, in one of the early press conferences with President Trump, he talked about how excited he was when he was out walking with his wife and saw people social distancing on their own before it was like a thing, And I could tell this little Napoleon is he's a bad guy who loves power and authority, and he is responsible for the largest cultural change in America and the world. In decades. He's one of the biggest cultural changers in at least modern history, because he's changed everything that we do around the world.
You're absolutely right. And by the way, in the beginning, he said, well, we don't need to wear a mask, right? Then he changed his mind, went against Trump, and he's an evil person. Listening to you this morning was the seal, it's just horrific what this guy is doing. And But what do we do, Brian? Let me ask you a question. What do we do as a listening audience? After listening,
well, there's nothing we have to do, because this thing with the puppies will result in his retiring, and then Biden will plug someone in who's a jerk and we don't know about. We'll have to learn to hate them too, you know. But this thing with Fauci, you know, when remember he was being interviewed by Julia Roberts and posing for the Vanity Fair with the sunglasses by the pool while he's screwing with people's livelihoods, you know. And it seems to me Ron DeSantis knows a lot more than Fauci on how to handle things. Florida's perfect.
What? I think Ron DeSantis is going to be our next president, Brian. I think he's going to, pardon the pun, from Trump. I think he's going to go, I think he's, like you said, the greatest governor we've had. And would you support Ron DeSantis challenging Trump?
No. 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 Listen, if Donald Trump were in office right now, there'd be no doubt about it. We'd be talking about DeSantis 2024. But it's not his time. It's still Trump's time. And he's not going to challenge Trump.
How come Donald Trump hasn't been on your show? You're the biggest, by far, the biggest supporter of him. Why hasn't he been on your show?
Well, why don't you ask him next time you see him? Yeah, really. We don't have too many guests on here. I would be nervous interviewing Donald Trump. I know what I'd ask him. I know what I'd ask him about. You know, I know exactly what I would ask him about. But no, I don't really. I obviously it's an opportunity I would not turn down, but it's not something I've sought out either. And I'll tell you for a couple of reasons. But one of them is, what could I ask President Trump that he has not been asked 10,000 times already?
That's a good question.
Yeah, you know, I remember. Now, this will sound like a strange comparison to make, but right after the O.J. Simpson trial was over, which was the biggest news story ever imaginable, we had an opportunity to have Marcia Clark on the show in studio, and Marcia Clark was the most sought-out interview at this time, most sought-out interview. And it was Steve and Al Rantel, and they said no. And I said, why? That's nuts. And both of them said to me the same thing. What can we ask Marcia Clark that she hasn't been asked 500 times? And I'd be afraid of that with Donald Trump. I wouldn't want to be mediocre with President Trump and ask him something that's been asked 80,000 times. I know what I'd ask him about, though. If I were talking to President Trump, I would ask him about that time when Comey came and tried to do a shakedown, Jagger Comey, and threw the fake dossier on his desk when he was president-elect and tried to blackmail him with it. I'd ask him to talk about that. That'd be one thing I'd ask him about. But I don't know. Good question. I would. Maybe he'll surprise me one day, and when they drop, after they drop Barron off at school, they'll bring the limo over here and come up. Maybe we'll get lucky.
That'd be. I listen. I look forward to you interviewing Donald Trump personally. I think it would be fantastic.
I'd be so nervous. When I had Peter Navarro, I don't know if you heard my Peter Navarro interview, but I was so nervous when I was interviewing Peter Navarro and I don't get nervous around famous people, and you might not think Peter Navarro is all that famous, but that's like one step removed from him. And it's very different. I'd be very nervous.
Interview, and you know what? It was intriguing. I guess the whole bureaucracy is against Donald Trump, without a doubt. And there's only a few of us standing, But like I said, I beg the question to you, Brian. What do we do?
We wait. We got to wait right now. You know, Trump has a plan, and his plan is a great plan. You know, he's got his social media platform, Truth Social, which is going to start next month, but be available to everyone at the first of the year. And we got the midterm elections, so you know we got to keep following Trump. I love Ron DeSantis, but it's not his time. It's still Trump's time, and it'll be. And I would like him to be Trump's running mate, which is possible, even though they both live in the same state. Cheney and GW were both from Texas, and Cheney just went to his house in Wyoming and got a driver's license. So all Trump needs is a New York or Jersey license, and he's good to go. Although they'll make a big stink about it and try to stop it. But that it's just not Ron DeSantis' time. I know he's perfect, and I love him. But and Ron DeSantis, no, he may be frustrated by it, but it's just not his time. It's Trump's time. And that's the way it is. And you're going to see a lot of people on the left and a lot of the never-Trumpers in the Republican establishment are going to try to create a divide between DeSantis and Trump, and a MAGA divide, like asking questions like you. Would you support DeSantis challenging Trump? Hell no. But he wouldn't. It would be political suicide for DeSantis to challenge Trump in the we should not even have a Republican primary process as normal. It should just be given that it's going to be Trump. There shouldn't be anyone who opposes him in the primary, put them on the list. Unless sometimes Huckabee will do it just to be out there, but that's not as serious. I'm talking about a serious challenger.
Trump come out and said he's running yet?
Well, at his last rally, he said that the campaign slogan next time is "Save America."
Then he's running, right? So we got to
Well, he hasn't officially announced it because of campaign finance rules. If he announces it, you got the campaign finance rules that apply. So that's why he hasn't officially announced. I think he'll officially announce after the midterms. Yeah, I mean, if you know, that's when he'll officially announce.
Trumper, I know you that I'm a Trumper againster. I'm for Donald Trump.
A Trumper againster? That's a new one. A Trumper against her?
I am. But you know what? Donald Trump is, for lack of a better word, is probably the best thing that's happened to this country in several years. But I'm still Ronald Reagan advocate.
Okay, enough. All right, enough. All right, Greg, take care. All right, listen, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll be right back. Third hour, you're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Greg wants you to know he's not a Trumper against her. We'll be right back.
That you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier.
Steve Kane Show.
5% on your electric bill. That's 954.
Hold on. You're not on yet. Hold on.
954.
Steve Kane Show.
1500.
Yes. Hold on.
Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick. So I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain, I felt incredible. It made a huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning.
No, Greg too. He sometimes he calls in like that. He's not seen anything.
That's 855-352-3782.
He has moments like that, but they're few. He tries to soften me up, hoping that the next time he calls, he'll be able to get away with this garbage.
Dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now.
All right, third hour has begun. The phones are busy. I'm Brian. Steve, you with us? I am with you, I think. Yeah, you're with us. COVID-free Kane. Yes, that's your new name. COVID-free Kane. People were worried about you. I've been getting calls all day. People worried about you.
That makes me cry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love everybody out there too.
Really? Even Al the John?
Almost everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. All right. Well, let's take a call or two, then we can, if you don't mind. Then we'll get back to, we'll talk. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I came from Fort Lauderdale. My curiosity is who you think we replaced DeSantis as governor in the state of Florida. Because you're not going to find someone his caliber or...
Oh, yeah. Here's that's the other big never Trumper, that Florida doesn't want to lose DeSantis. We're going to lose him anyway in 2 years after that. You can only be governor for 2 terms.
So who would you project to replace him?
There's nobody that can replace him. He's irreplaceable.
Okay, we're going to have a governor one way or...
Well, it would be it'll be somebody. He'll be out of office by then due to term limits. We don't have him forever, nor do we want him forever.
I understand that, but we want another strong Republican governor in the state of Florida to keep us going in the right direction. So I'm just asking.
Well, I'm sure Ron DeSantis and his fellow Floridian, President Trump, will find someone and endorse them. That would be good. I don't know who right now, but, Okay. All right, appreciate the call. Yeah, don't buy this never Trumper crap. Florida doesn't want to lose DeSantis. Yeah, we won't be losing him if he becomes vice president with Trump. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Margie from...
Hey, Margie, what's up?
I'm just calling in on your PETA
oh, yes.
segment. I am sorry to say, but I'm way back, okay? So I was around with the AIDS and the HIV when they were using mentally challenged children for their experiments on finding a cure for HIV.
Wow.
New York, and that made me sick to my stomach that they were using children, and nobody said anything.
Was Fauci running the show back then? I would imagine during the era of AIDS.
He surely was. And so when Trump brought him in, I was sick to my...
Well, no. Hold on. Trump didn't bring him in. He was head of the thing already. Okay? So Trump didn't bring him in. He was brought in back in the 80s. So, Bush or Reagan brought him in. I'm not yelling, but I don't want you to don't blame Trump. Don't blame Fauci on Trump.
Listen, I know you love him, and I voted for him.
Oh, here we go, the butt.
Sure did some interesting things with people that he had around him.
President Trump? Like, what are you talking about? What did he do? What do you mean by interesting?
He kept Millie around him. He kept people around him that were backstabbing him.
Mm-hmm.
That made me sad and upset at him for not realizing the backstabbers
Well, listen, President Trump was not a Washington insider, and I don't think he realized what he was dealing with some of these low-life traders that he had around him, like Milley, who
understand what you're saying. We really do, but you don't allow us to say it.
You're saying it. You're on the air now.
I am trying, okay? I approve of Trump. I'm almost 80 years old. I've been around the block. I was shocked that America allowed Trump to even run. So when he ran, I was happy. But the people around him were people that we were all screaming about being...
Okay, let me tell you what happened. Right, I know what you're talking about. We got a lot of traitors around there. But here's the deal. Here's what there's. Now Trump has learned better. He's learned something here. But what they do. This is what they did. They told him that you have to use Washington insiders because they know how the system works. And if you bring in outsiders, they won't, nothing. You won't be able to get anything done because outsiders won't even know who to call to get it done. But you say he should have gotten rid of all these people, maybe, but he got rid of one person in particular. Hold on, excuse me. Hold on a second here. No, Flynn lied to the vice president. He fired Flynn because Flynn lied to the vice president. That's why he got rid of Flynn. He lied to Pence about the whole interaction, but he fired the head of the snake, okay, and that was Comey. And then look what happened. Firing Comey put in place a domino effect that led to everything that happened to him. And if he would have taken on all of them, who knows? It would have gotten worse. So I don't know. I think he was, yeah.
Better. Dan, but you get so mad at us.
I'm not mad at you. We're having a conversation.
Okay.
But go ahead. What's your...
So terrified of this virus.
Well, because people die from it. Uh-huh. Well, part of the reason is part of the reason is we'll stick with COVID. It's a lot like AIDS. When AIDS was new, excuse me, when AIDS was new, a lot of people were ridiculously terrified because they didn't understand it. They didn't really know how it was transmitted. All they knew was you got it and you died. There were no treatments, and people would not go near someone that had AIDS because they thought they would get it through the air. So COVID last year, there was a crisis. President Trump shut down the entire American economy for 2 months, and people were scared. That's why. Yeah, okay. I didn't want to be rude to her. I was waiting for you to tell me to hang up. Well, you were here. I didn't hear you speak up. I'm being nice to her. I was trying to be nice to her, One of our elderly listeners. Can't talk to her like Al the John or Greg too. All right. Well, listen. Yeah.
I don't know if you've covered this.
Steve Kane Show.
Really did.
Hold on.
Until the last minute this morning, but we woke up in the middle of the night and I was listening to America One on the tour. We were watching America One on the Tube, which I haven't watched in a long time. I've become very almost exclusive with my listening habits and listening to fun. Lying in bed, half awake, half asleep, and
Mm-hmm.
Is announced he's calling out the National Guard, he's calling the police, that they've called every military source in the state of Texas. They are forming a line at the Texas border where, you know, this huge crowd is coming up, and it is a huge crowd, and they're not going to let them in. They're finally, somebody finally drew a line in the sand and said, you're not coming beyond this point. And I remember listening to it, and it was kind of shocking to me. I guess I hadn't heard it.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that's going to fly, because once they're in the because they can't, because the governor of Texas can't deport people. He has to turn them over to Biden. Yes. Yeah.
Armed.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's what they say. I don't know.
I mean, that scares the crap.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll pull up this story here. This one of them I'm going to pull up. It's this is the official statement from Greg Abbott. All right, this is like the news release on his from the governor of Texas website. Governor Abbott swears in Texas Military Department Deputy General and is sending them on this mission. He'll lead a coordinated border missions for Operation Lone Star, which Governor Abbott launched in March with the Texas Department of Public Safety to combat the smuggling of people and drugs into Texas. So yeah, he appointed this guy, and that's going to be his job.
So why that's not a bigger, most of the day and night I spent watching Fox. I don't remember hearing that on Fox.
I don't think I saw it on Fox either. But
Bizarre. This is the story of the year.
I don't think anyone really believes they're going to do anything. That's why they think it's symbolic.
Oh, when you get two large bodies of armed people clashing, it's hardly symbolic. It's more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Watch these things unfold with the catastrophe a day, with what's been going on at the border. I keep wondering what the end game was going to be, and if they're serious. And when I heard the story, they seemed serious to me that this is the end game here.
I don't think it's a smart idea because yeah.
The people I'm looking at now in this segment of the invaders or whatever.
Well, I got a message that it was on Tucker Carlson last night. I didn't see Tucker last night, so I don't know. But somebody messaged me and told me Tucker Carlson is. I think it's a bad idea because if you don't want a Kent State down there with the Texas National Guard, and that would be a disaster. Oh yeah. On
the other hand, there's got to be an end game here. It's got to end somewhere.
The end game is Trump. That's the end game in 24. I mean, that's the end game. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, that's the end game. I hope not, because I can't do that thing with my tongue. I can't even pronounce half the words. Yeah, I can't even do that. No. Yeah. I almost didn't graduate college because of the foreign language requirement. I couldn't do that.
The people I see marching towards
Texas. Yeah.
Nature of the crowd has changed a lot. There are a lot of women, a lot of kids, a lot of middle class looking people, as opposed to the
Yeah.
If this is true, I don't know. I'm just putting this call out because I would like somebody to call in if you have any updates from any place. I'd like to.
Well, we're late for our break, so let's take our break. I'll make about the number, then we'll break. 1-888-GO-CANE 1. 888-465 2631. We'll be right back after this.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires.
2 minutes after the hour, today is the big day. Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group, their 2 workshops are today, and on the line we have Attorney Barry Siegel. Barry, good morning.
To call our office and grab those. We have only 2 available. We do have our next one in November 17th. That's going to be only the Living Trust. So we're already taking reservations for that. And Brian, the key thing with these workshops, because we're going to be going over so much great information. It's free information that can help protect yourself and your family, help avoid probate, help protect your family from losing their inheritance, from divorces, lawsuits, and so on, and also learning how we can protect our assets from the high cost of long-term care, even if you don't have long-term care insurance, and even if you think you have too much money. But the thing is, for those of you who made reservations today, please show up, because we have people who were trying to get those reservations, but you took those spots. So please make sure that you show up, because we're going to give a lot of great information there today, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone. And again, if you do want to get into the Medicaid workshop, there are 2 seats available, or you can call our office and schedule for November 17th for next month for Living Trust.
Yeah, and then there's no Medicaid planning workshop next month, so this is it for a while. And listen, I've been to the Siegel Law Group workshops many times, both of them, and each time, no matter how many times I've been at it, I learn new things that will blow your mind when it comes to planning. So listen, if you want to go to that Medicaid planning workshop that's this afternoon in Delray, there's 2 spots left, so you can go ahead and call about that. And you may want to call ahead to reserve a spot for the Revocable Living Trust workshop next month, because those fill up like crazy. Here's the number for the Siegel Law Group, 855-FLA-3782. Now, the Medicaid planning workshop is this afternoon in Delray. When you call, they'll give you detailed directions. 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, have a good workshop today, and we'll talk later this week. All right. Take care. All right. Steve, there was another more mild, but it was a very interesting conversation with Cinema at the airport. Did you see this? I watched the unedited version on the internet this morning, and the news are covering this because this young spoiled white girl keeps asking Cinema questions as she's walking through the airport. But they haven't said who she was walking with. She was walking and talking to Senator Tim Scott, who is the Republican Senator Tim Scott, our black Republican senator. And she was apologizing to him for the disruption during their conversation, and they look like best buds. And I find it very strange that, one, the most high-profile Democrat member of the Senate is walking with a very prominent Republican senator, and she was just walking to her car from a plane. They got off a flight together, and they're walking through the airport, confronted by this lunatic girl, and they were just involved in a normal conversation about something or other, but it's not often that you see a prominent Democrat socializing with a prominent Republican like this out in public. I thought it was very new. What got me really thinking about it is none of the news stories pointed this out. They have the incident, and you hear the girl giving her a hard time, but they cut out of the frame Tim Scott, and they don't even reference it's him. It's like they don't want you to know she's associating with a Republican. And I'm wondering if she's thinking about jumping ship and becoming an independent or a Republican. I thought that was fascinating that she's with Tim Scott.
Interview yesterday with
Manchin.
Very well, and they're saying he's West Virginia, right, Manchin?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They say that there's nothing in the package, the present package that they're trying to get signed. There's nothing in it for Manchin's constituency, and that it would mean bankruptcy for the country if.
Well, they certainly don't have cinema if she's palling around with a Republican, Tim Scott, like this. I mean, I was pretty amazed by that, and I'm surprised no one in the media is. Well, I really am surprised that they're cutting that aspect of it off. She's not going to budge, I don't think, and if she doesn't budge, and Manchin, I don't think they're going to. I don't know about Manchin, but I don't think she's going to budge. I believe they do. Yeah, they need both of them. One won't do, and they need them both. And I don't think they have Manchin, but he's more likely to budge.
I have more faith in cinema than I do in men.
Well, I always worry about a man because they can always find blackmail material on a prominent Democrat man, and if they have to, they'll pull it out. You know what I mean? But this thing, if cinema became a Republican, oh my goodness, that would be beautiful. Or just an independent and then caucus with the Republicans, it would be. I mean, everything that the Democrats are doing. I was talking about this earlier. These mandates that there's so much rebelling going on around the country for. They're creating Republican voters. They may not go and switch parties and become Republicans, but they're certainly not going to vote Democrat in the next election. And what the Democrats are doing is something you rarely see. They're really turning people off. They're turning many of their base supporters off of them. People want their lives back to normal and want to stop being told what to do all the time. And well, let me give out the number at one. I'll give out the number 1-888-GO-CANE1. If you'd like to call in about anything we brought up today, we've touched on a lot of topics. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. 888-GO-CANE1.
To hear from anybody that's heard about this group of civilians that.
Yeah.
On the big vote on this budget thing, which will bankrupt the country. Anything you've heard? 1-888-GO.
Yeah. Now listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, and then we'll go to the phones and get into some more topics. Now, I got an email from a listener that I want to share with you guys. This is from Robbie and Pam. Brian, I want to take a moment to say I just recently became a new listener in the last 6 months and enjoy the show. I recently heard you praise the MyPillow mattress topper. I decided to take your advice and purchased one. Can I just say, the first night we slept on it, my wife awoke energized and told me she dreamed she was swimming with baby manatees. So if that in itself is not a testimony to the quality of sleep it provides, I don't know what is. Thank you for the recommendation, Robbie and Pam. Oh, let me tell you, the MyPillow mattress topper is amazing. My experience this weekend was amazing. I'm out of town with my daughter. I'm staying at a hotel all weekend, Friday through Sunday. My first night, I wake up Saturday morning, massive back pain. My lower right back I felt like two bones without cartilage were rubbing together, and it just spread all day. I had to sleep in that hotel bed on Saturday night. I woke up Sunday. I was in so much pain, I was almost in tears. And I came home Sunday afternoon, And I went to bed early because I was in so much back pain just to watch TV. I just couldn't sit on the couch. I went to bed. My wife comes in an hour later. I'm watching TV. She says, "How's your back?" And I said, "The pain is completely gone. Just 1 hour laying on my MyPillow mattress topper. The pain is gone and it has not returned." It's absolutely amazing. Now, right now, there's an incredible special on the MyPillow mattress topper. This is huge now. Now, if you already have one, you know what I'm talking about how great it is. They make great Christmas gifts, not just for yourself, but for anyone on your gift-giving list. With our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you can get the 3-inch mattress topper. This is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. The 3-inch mattress topper with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows. 30% off, 2 free MyPillows for the 3-inch mattress topper. Comes in every mattress size there is, too. I have one, and you'll be dreaming of sleeping with the manatees, too. And your back pain, I got to tell you, it's a miracle what it's done for my back. Gone, boom, no pain. Now, you can also order by phone. It's toll-free, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, we'll be right back after this. Do not go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Gosh darn it.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with Attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, welcome back. 36 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Steve Kane here. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. You know, we were talking before you joined us, Steve, about Fauci funding experiments on these beagle puppies, and that was one of the most that was one of the most difficult articles I've ever read. I couldn't even read the whole article where they had they cut the vocal cords out so they couldn't hear the dogs crying. Beagle puppies.
The damage he's wrought on people, maybe the Americans are a pushover for puppies.
If puppies don't bring him down, if the the worst across party lines, something that reaches across both. I'm not saying this is the worst thing a person can do, but I'm talking about in American culture. One thing that crosses all political and ethnic lines in this country is that harming puppies is like the worst thing you can say about someone. It really is.
Too, because
yeah,
a lot of places in the world they eat them.
Oh my goodness.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. But this one here, this one could finally, and this is the deal. Okay, so a lot of people will say, and there's some truth to this. Well, this puppy story is really bad. I'm not going to go through it again. It's too brutal to read, and I avoided this subject yesterday because I didn't want to read the stories, but I did today. I couldn't even get through it. It's so upsetting. So they force him to retire, and they plug in some other jerk, right? Okay, but what this will do is it'll stop Fauci having his post-government career like he was planning on having. They got a movie about him out right now, a documentary, Fauci. And I've seen the trailer for it. It'll make you physically ill to watch this suck. So him becoming like the medical correspondent on MSNBC and CNN or ABC, this puppy story could stop all those multi-million-dollar deals from happening. And well, Burke's retired, and I'm sure she's making money somewhere somehow, in the private sector now. And he is such a power-hungry person. He stayed in that job because he enjoys the power more than he wants the money that he could be. So he has stayed around so long, I'm talking about through this crisis, as opposed to moving on. And it looks like he stayed around just a little too long to do his big cashing in that he was about to do. So this will follow him for the rest of his life. And it's in
high places. There's
no one wants to be connected with a man who abuses puppies. No, who wants to be associated with that? And yesterday, Ron DeSantis was talking about this story. Ron DeSantis called him a mad scientist, and I think that's the public perception of it. And this story is huge on the internet. It is everywhere. People are flipped out, and it's amazing to me how many people are shocked by it. I'm not shocked by it. This guy's a creep. But people are shocked by it, and they're like, I didn't know Fauci was like this. I'm shocked. I thought he was this, humanitarian, and he's the opposite of it. So that'll definitely be his undoing. There's another story that you really... Now, I talked about this one earlier in the show. This is one you got to really watch out for. They're trying to now... they're saying now there's a story that Mark Meadows and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Louis Gohmert met with insurrectionists and had multiple. They have people, cooperating witnesses with the January 6th committee that say they met and planned in multiple meetings the January 6th events with Louis Gohmert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Mark Meadows, Trump's chief of staff at the White House, and other Republicans. And this is a complete lie. Okay, this is a complete lie. What they're doing. There's two different events happened. There's the Capitol breach, and then on that same day there was a Trump rally. So what they're now trying to say is that the Trump rally was the same as the breach. And anyone who took part in organizing a tour bus going to Washington for the Trump rally to see President Trump speak that day, you're the same as the Capitol breachers. And they did this. It came out in Rolling Stone over the weekend, but The Hill, the Daily Mail, and other news outlets are now covering the story, and they're making it sound like it's all one event, not separate events. And the mainstream media are jumping on this too. It's one you got to watch out for, and this is why they're going after Bannon, because Bannon helped organize the Trump rally that day. So there are two different events, and it really shows the January 6th Commission has found nothing. And that this committee is grasping at straws and trying to create things out of nothing because they have nothing. Trump and no one connected to Trump had anything to do with that Capitol breach. So that's why they're expanding out. But watch out for it, because that's what Democrats do. I know they're not all Democrats. They're never Trumpers. They might as well be Democrats, but that's what they do. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Toll-free call from anywhere. Oh, I also wanted to, I watched. Okay, this is amazing what has happened here with Ron DeSantis. So the story yesterday, we were talking about it earlier, about Ron DeSantis is encouraging police officers who are being fired over the mandates to come to Florida. Now the governor of Alaska has joined Ron DeSantis in this. And I've never even heard of him before. I haven't worried about Alaska since Sarah Palin. But the governor of Alaska welcoming police officers fired for defying mandates. We back the blue. Biden has really, Steve, he's really turning so much of the country again. I've never seen a politician work so hard to turn people against them. They think Trump was turning people against him at his rallies. I don't believe that's true, but he wasn't doing things like Biden's doing.
Believable to watch.
Well, there's a couple of them. The droids, R2-D2, C-3PO, C-3PO, played by Anthony Daniels, the actor.
If we're talking about the same guy, it reminds me of the guy in Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's C-3PO, yeah. 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 Yeah, it is. We've never seen anything like this. And he really, you got to wonder, is he doing this just out of stupidity or by design? I've never, these rebellions over the mandates are hurting the Democrats more than anything anyone could do. Yeah. Yeah. Well, never. Well, listen, we're going to take our last break of the day. When we come back, it'll be time for the Gold Report with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me.
Hey there.
He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number, write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman with this morning's gold and precious metals report from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated, located right here in Boca Raton. William Youngerman, good morning. Great. How are the metals looking today?
Looking good. We had a nice rally yesterday, which took us back over that 1800 resistance area. Again, we have not been able to stay above that today, so we'll see how that works out. But the metals are looking very constructive with pretty much for the last few days the higher highs and higher lows. So that's very constructive for a higher market. So we'll see how that unfolds, especially today on contrary Tuesday. But yesterday we saw gold up $15.10 or $15.50 at $1,507.40 the ounce. Silver was up 25 cents at $24.55, while platinum closed up $20 at $1,057, and palladium was up $27 at $1,981 the ounce. And right now, gold's down $11.40 at $17.96, silver down 25 cents at $24.30, platinum down $7 at $1,050, and palladium down $29 at $1,052. So pretty much doing what it's been doing, but again, as I said, we're establishing higher highs and higher lows. That's very constructive for a much higher market. So there is still selling resistance over that $1,800 number, but I believe this week we'll take out that proved to be $1,800 could prove to be a solid base for us once we get through this and establish that.
Yeah. Yeah, now people that are out of town can also do business with you. They can buy and sell the metals. Can you tell our out-of-town listeners how that works?
For 50 years, we've had a good two-way market in all of the precious metals, and internationally speaking. So you can just call us up, lock in the price, wire the money, and your coins or your gold or silver, whatever you're buying, is shipped within 24 hours, and usually the very next day.
Yeah, you can do that. Now, they open up weekdays at 10, and the number is toll-free from anywhere. Everything's shipped out, it's insured, boom, and it's quick. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And the address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, take care. I just was kicked out for refusing the mandate. They're going to give them administrative separation. General court-martial convening authorities retain the authority to take additional disciplinary action that they deem appropriate.
Heading up Joe Biden and his entire administration are a bunch of idiots. I mean, to talk about bad choices, he's taking on the military, for crying out loud. He's assuming that the public is going to support this nonsense he's doing.
Well, this is really rough because they're doing this. Listen to this. Now, this was sent out by the Marine Corps yesterday to the Marines. The message said a Marine is considered to have refused the vaccine when they do not have an approved administrative, medical, or religious exemption or pending appeal, to have willfully disobeyed a lawful order from a superior commissioned officer. Those with pending administration, medical, or religious exemption requests or appeals will not be considered to. So if you've refused... Yeah, and if they are not vaccinated, they're not considered deployable. They will not be able to re-enlist, be promoted. And they're talking about court-martials. They're talking about dishonorable discharges, which is, this is something. Yeah, and what that means is that, a lot of people leave the military and plan on having jobs in local governments, like police officers. That's off the table with this. They won't be able to be police officers. They won't be able to get a lot of jobs because they'll have a dishonorable discharge. And this is insane what is going on here. And I imagine, this is going to be one of those issues when Trump's running. Okay, this is going to happen. And by the way, the Marine Corps has not granted one religious exemption, I read in Breitbart. Not one religious exemption. What's going to happen when we get into the presidential election season after the midterms, I would imagine President Trump is going to run on pardoning the military people and giving them honorable discharges when he's reelected in 24. And I would imagine the Commander-in-Chief has that authority. And I imagine we'll start hearing that in the midterms. But that is a definite... no one other than Trump would have the guts to say that or do that. But that's going to happen. Now, these guys, I don't know what's going to happen when they get tossed out with these dishonorable discharges. It's going to be a tough road for them. But I think that would be... Trump would get millions of votes if he was going to reinstate them with...
decisions every day that make him less and less popular with the average...
But aren't the people around him saying, wait a minute...
Yes, man, he's surrounded who were chosen because they are malleable and will go along with this program.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, if someone around, if I were around, you got to see, presidents need people that'll tell them what's up. I mean, this is one of the dozen in the last month campaign issues they've given Trump. But if Trump went around saying, those of you in the military and those of you with family in the military or were tossed out with Biden, elect me, I will reinstate you to the military at your previous rank. If you want to remain discharged, it'll be switched from dishonorable or general to honorable. Oh man, that would carry entire states. That would be an election issue like no other. And who could be against that? And remember, Jimmy Carter, he pardoned the draft dodgers, but I was a kid. I don't know if he ran on that issue. But he, but that was a big issue for the left back then, with pardoning the draft dodgers. It was a big deal to the Democrats because the draft dodgers were Democrats, most of them. But this issue is, I haven't heard anybody speculate on this issue I'm talking about with Trump. That would be a game changer in an election cycle that we've never seen. Never seen these modern Democrats led by Biden hate the American people. They just hate us. They really do despise the public. I've never seen anything like it. And they may get a victory lap next week in Virginia, with Terry McAuliffe. But if we lose right now, I read the polls are even. But if we lose Virginia, they're going to do a victory lap like you haven't seen, okay? Don't let that discourage you. This speech Obama gave over the weekend was disgusting. He was referencing this girl that was raped in the girls' room by the boy in the skirt. We don't need to get distracted by these right-wing cultural issues. I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe the way he was talking. Is he checked out? Does he not know that what's been going on? I don't know, but he's a twisted.
People who are misinforming him, and he's going to pay the price.
Yeah.
And it may not happen in Virginia,
Steve Kane Show.
But it's happening across the country.
Hey, what's NAC stand for?
The most precipitous fall in the polls.
Oh, I can't even say it. Okay, hold on. Yeah, never seen anything. I've never seen anything like this. And he doesn't have... And he doesn't have a single expert that tells him what's really going on. But here on the Steve Kane Show, we are surrounded by experts, and we often rely on them as you listen to the program, to our experts on all the issues that they have an expertise in. And, of course, one of those experts is Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural over there at the Festival Marketplace. And each day at this time, she calls in with the Morning Health Report. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. And
good morning.
Once again, lots of good information for people supporting their immune system. So,
so many people come into AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at Festival, and they say, do you have NAC? Do you have that NAC? And they don't even really know for certain why they're asking for it. So NAC stands for N-acetylcysteine. It is a precursor to glutathione. What do those two things do? They help your respiration. They help reduce your susceptibility to picking up whatever virus might be going around. And the glutathione protects your healthy cells. And lots of people ask me, well, how do I know I need it? You can do a blood test that measures your glutathione, but you can also know if you are someone who has a possible predisposition to bronchitis or a cold tends to settle on your chest. You need that NAC. It helps all of that lower respiratory system, your lungs, and prevents can help prevent lots and lots of different viral infections.
Now, those of you out there that use nutraceuticals, if you listen to this program, chances are you've heard of Janet Cimarelli. She's one of the most well-known people in the nutraceutical business in South Florida. And she's been at other places, but now she is at AJ's Natural at the Festival Marketplace, which is in Pompano, immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road. And AJ's is across and a little bit to the side of the food court over there. Very easy to find. But this is also Janet's store. She's the J, and her partner Anita, we were speaking to last week. Anita and Janet make up the AJ and AJ's Natural. And, of course, as always, Janet is available over there for consultations. Now, Janet, you also have a radio show. Tell people when your radio show is on our stations.
Okay, thank you so much. 10 o'clock today and 10 o'clock on Fridays, right here on this radio station. Just a half hour of lots of information about how to support your good health with natural substances, so you can pick out the right foods that support your
So Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m., catch Janet Cimarelli with her Nutraceutical Health Talk Show. All right, Janet, again, AJ's Natural in the Festival Marketplace in Pompano, over by the food court. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Janet. All right, Steve, we got to sign off in about 10 seconds. We're out of time.
Be there or be square. See you tomorrow, and God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, everyone. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video before you leave. If you don't mind, please like the video before you go. When you like the video, that tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to others who like our way of thinking and this type of content. That helps me out a lot when you guys do that. So please like the video. Do not leave without doing that. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe too. But liking is so helpful. You have no idea. I'm just shutting everything down. I got to turn our voicemail on and do all of that. I'm just turning on the voicemail. There we go. All right, guys. I'll see you all later. I'm going to take off. But again, like the video. And a new podcast coming up later today, too. So check it out. 6 p.m. Eastern is when I upload my podcast with my wife, okay?